Shake your pom-poms. Shake, shake, shake. Kimberly F. Brown, she'll roll up on your hometown. She supports the good, but if you're doing wrong, you better watch yourself. If you're cruel and full of spite, she'll shut you down. One wrong step and it's to the ground. She don't play nice with clowns. Brown, brown, brown. On Cleveland, she'll lift you up or tear you down, depending on what you got going on. That darn down brown, brown. She gets the folks in every way. Her light shines bright like midday. She hates the lies, she seeks the truth. She'll call you out and show the proof. She'll clean the streets, she'll get them right. She works all day, she works all night. She loves or hates based on your deeds. Don't cross her path, don't plant your weeds. Brown, brown, brown. On Cleveland, she'll lift you up or tear you down, depending on what you got going on. That darn down brown, brown. Brown, brown. On Cleveland, she'll lift you up or tear you down, depending on what you got going on. That darn brown, brown. Shake your pom-poms. Shake, shake, shake your pom-poms.
Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. It's Friday evening, and of course, you got yours truly, Brown, 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 that darn brown on Cleveland. And I know it is a snowstorm out there, and you guys are probably on social media reading that story about Gorilla and her brothers and her sisters. But yet and still, we are still celebrating Black History Month. And of course, tonight is all about local Black history because this is my tribute, of course, to you. But of course, before we go on, we got to, of course, acknowledge our sponsors as always. Don't forget that this is election time. And if you're looking for t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, tumbler mugs, team uniforms, whatever the case may be, please reach out to Angie Marie. She's located over in Maple Heights, and she will take care of you. Her number is 216-395-7335. If you want great soul food, don't forget to go through Garfield Heights. Go on Rockside Road. Now, the address is 12540. Check out Flavor Southern Cuisine Restaurant. The chef and the owner over there is Rhonda Stubbs. You can reach her at 216-510-0919. And don't forget that you can rent out her venue. And then, if you want some of the best wings and walking tacos in the region, stop by Viva Mexican Grill and Neighborhood Cafe. They're located at 16941 Broadway Avenue in Maple Heights. And again, they are also available for private affairs for you, and you. Don't forget about it, okay? Once again, I want to thank my sponsors for hanging out with me and being committed with me and the Little Hut Podcast. Thank you very much. And of course, the chat is open. And of course, I want to say hello to my BWCCC sister. And that is, of course, Kimberly Taylor. And of course, podcast co host Sharon Princess. Maybe, maybe not. hmm Sproul. Well, that is up for debate. But at any rate, it is time to talk about our local history moments. But before we do that, I want to remind you guys about Sundays that are coming. Not this Sunday, but beginning next Sunday. We will start talking to and talking with those folks who are running for office during election 2026. And I will also say that everybody will not be invited because everyone is not bold enough to sit inside the hot ass hut. So we don't want any crybabies inside the hut because if you come inside the hut, do understand that we don't play favorites and we're going to ask you questions that residents, constituents, business owners, and stakeholders want to know. We are not affiliated with any political organization. So I don't care if you're a Republican, you could be a Dem, you could be an independent, you could be part of the Green Party, no party, your mama's party. You are welcome inside the Little Hut podcast, just so you know. So all you got to do is reach out to myself or Miss Freddie or Lady Sharon and tell us that you want to come on and we'll look at the schedule and we'll get you inside the Little Hut. Show enough. Now, let's go and talk about some great Black history moments. And before we talk about local moments, I want to bring you guys up to date and I want to talk to you about some greatness that occurred before your narrative of some greatness. Did you guys know that before there was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and we celebrated his birthday, and every time Black History Month come up, everybody talks about MLK Jr. And I'm not going to take anything away from him, but I will say this. Before it was King, there was a Black pastor. His name is Dr. Vernon Johns. He came before King. But because Johns did not fit the narrative, people went with King. Now, here we go. Dr. Vernon Johns was an American minister based in the South, and he was a pioneer in the civil rights movement before Martin Luther King Jr. He is best known as the pastor of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. He was succeeded there by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And if you know your history, you know that Dexter, they fired Johns because Johns was too fiery. He was too abrupt. And Johns didn't care what he said, how he said it, or why he said it, because it was always purposely thought provoking because he wanted to get stuff done. And sometimes, people always say this, well, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Well, Dr. Vernon Johns was different. He was like, shit, if you a snake, you a snake. If you a dog, you a dog. And if I'm going to kick your ass, I'm going to kick it. And people didn't like that. So they got rid of Johns. And then here come Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. All right. So Dr. Vernon Johns, we got to give him some. Yeah. Here's another one. You know how everybody talk about Rosa Parks? They sure do. Yeah, they talk about Parks. Remember Rosa Parks? When she got off work, she told them people that she was not going to the back of the bus because she was tired. Well, before Rosa Parks, you guys, Google this. There was Claudette Colvin. Yeah, Claudette Colvin. Back in she was born in 1939, but this was in 1955. Now, this 15-year-old, you guys, she was arrested because she sat in the front of the bus and they wanted her to go in the back and give up her seat to a white woman. And this fiery 15-year-old told them, hell no. whose child was she? She could have been like Kimberly Brown's daughter, because probably not. But listen, Claudette Colvin was actually the first to tell them folks that she was not going to get up. But see, she was 15 years old. She was unemployed. They said that she was pregnant and she was single. She wasn't married. So she didn't fit the narrative like, Rosa Parks. And you got to remember that Rosa Parks, not only was Rosa a little mild, but she was fiery, she was also the secretary of the local chapter of the NAACP. So they chose Rosa, and that helped spark the 1955 Montgomery bus boycott. But she was not the first one to say, I ain't giving up my seat to you. I was here first. You stand your butt up, because I ain't going nowhere. It was 15-year-old Claudette Colvin. Know your Black history, brown on Cleveland. Now, here's the interesting thing. Let's now come local to Cuyahoga County. This is a moment where we are going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Let's go to the city of Richmond Heights. You got Black history moments in Richmond Heights. And if you live in Richmond Heights, because I know some of you guys do, because some of you guys are a little messy, that much I know, but here's some history for you. Did you know that your mayor, Kim Thomas, the current mayor, she is not the first Black woman mayor in the city of Richmond Heights? I'm going to say it again. She is not the first Black woman. And what gets me is that in 2026, I don't know where people got this fake narrative from, but I have an idea. So let me give you guys some history. The first Black woman who served as mayor in the city of Richmond Heights, her name is Maisha Hedden. Maisha Hedden. I'm going to say it again. She was the first Black woman mayor to serve in the city of Richmond Heights. She was elected, I do believe, 2013, 2014. Now, the unsavory part about this is that Mayor Hedden only served about 10 or 11 months because she was recalled. Then people, they just really wasn't ready for, in my opinion, a Black woman. So they recalled her. And of course, she was replaced by this, white guy, this Republican guy. Neither here nor there. But the moral to this narrative right now is that Kim Thomas was not the first. The first goes to Maisha Hedden. And remember this, that it was the Black Women Commission of Cuyahoga County. Now, Sister Kim Taylor, you know this. It was the Black Women Commission of Cuyahoga County who called out Mayor Kim Thomas about that narrative that was spreading through the region that she was the first mayor. No such a thing. The city of the city of Richmond Heights, inside their city hall, they have this wall, and the wall is unnamed. And on this wall, they had portraits of all of the mayors who served. So when the commission, the real Black Women Commission of Cuyahoga County, us, when we went to that city hall, we saw everybody's picture up there but the first Black woman mayor. So did Maisha Hedden. And we held a protest outside that city, and we had to change the narrative and correct the narrative. And this is what we got to do sometimes, y'all. We can't allow people to create false narratives, especially when it comes to our history. I don't care how good it may be, how bad it may be, or how indifferent it should or should not be. We got to turn a wrong into a right because it's the only right thing to do. Brown on Cleveland. So history is this. Let me correct you guys who are out there spreading these lies that Kim Thomas was the first black woman mayor. No such a thing. No such a thing. Damn it. No such a thing. The first black woman mayor of Richmond Heights was Maisha Hetton, and that is the truth. Brown on Cleveland. All right, let's really do some history now. Now, this is coming from the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections. Now, this is something new to me because I didn't know this. There was a guy named Thomas W. Flemings. They say that Flemings was the first African American elected to Cleveland City Council. I didn't know that. Did you? Mm-mm. Born in 1874, Fleming's remarkable journey from Barbara, he was cutting hair, y'all, to lawyers, and then he became a politician. He paved the way for future generations of African American leaders and local government. With his dedication to public service, Flemings challenged the status quo, fighting for representation and advocacy for the Central Avenue community by supporting public facilities and expanding municipal job opportunities. And of course, y'all, his name is Thomas W. Flemings. And of course, yours truly, Kimberly Brown. I didn't even know that tidbit regarding Black history here in Cuyahoga County. So let's give Thomas W. Flemings some for paving the way for y'all who are sitting there today. Brown on Cleveland. All right, let's go on. I love these Black history facts. I really do. Now let's check out this guy named Alonzo Wright. Y'all know him? I don't at all. Never heard of this guy. But listen, y'all, this is our own. Alonzo Wright, check this out. Alonzo Wright he had a sharp business mind. This is what they say. With a genuine care for his customers and community. Cleveland's first African-American millionaire. Woo! He arrived with just 6 pennies in his pocket. Now, he went from 6 pennies to a millionaire, and we got people out here thinking somebody owed him something. Don't nobody owe y'all nothing. It's called hard work pays off. So let's get back to Alonzo Wright. Now, Alonzo Wright, he had a meeting with Ohio. Y'all know that gas station, right? Standard Oil of Ohio, executive, right? And he had the opportunity to lease his first service station, where he pioneered the practice of cleaning customers' windshields as they waited for a fill up. Do y'all remember those days when we didn't even have to get out of our car? Remember, we would just pull up. Oh, I'm telling my age, right? I'm almost a senior. I'm almost 100. Remember, we would just pull up in a gas station and the attendant would come out and they would say, "How are you, ma'am? How are you, sir?" And they would even wave to the kids in the back. And they would automatically start cleaning your windshields, the front, and they would clean the back. And then you would tell them how much gas you wanted. They would pump your gas. You never had to get out your car. Guess what, y'all? This was started by Alonzo Wright, right here in the city of Cleveland. Then they say later Wright expanded his empire through real estate investment. Woo, one of the first Black millionaires here in the city of Cleveland. Now, let me ask you guys, how many of you guys knew that? I didn't, but I know it now. Brown on Cleveland, Cleveland's history makers, Black lives, Black history matters. Yeah. Now, these are some names you guys should be familiar with. If you don't, shame on you. All right, let's talk about, this is the part I love. Key Black female history makers in Cuyahoga County. Now, before we start talking about these women, did y'all read the story on Newsbreak that I wrote when I had to spotlight, well, I didn't have to spotlight them, but I decided to spotlight 4 trailblazers within our region. I talked about the political strategist, Brenda Hall, who is probably one of the most sought out political strategists in the region. Well, besides yours truly, because I'm 21-0, and I think Miss Hall said, since she's been a political strategist, she's only lost one race. Well, I haven't lost any, well, except for my own, but that's neither here nor there. So it doesn't matter. But I talked about Brenda Hall, remember? Remember, I talked about social justice activist and lead research analyst for Chasing Justice. I talked about that damn Mariah Crenshaw. And that's history, man. Because had it not been for Crenshaw's investigative professionalism and her no nonsense behavior, and people call her crazy. She said it. So she's like the rest of us who get stuff done. People call us crazy because we don't back down. East Cleveland will not be going through what they're going through as far as all of those indictments because Mariah Crenshaw played a huge part in that. And if you live in East Cleveland, you should be thankful to Mariah. Damn so. And remember, I talked about Cassandra McDonald. Yeah, because Cassandra McDonald is a policy and law analyst right here in Cuyahoga County. And she's so bold. Not only did she create a new NAACP back in the day, and a lot of people got mad at her, talking about she shouldn't have done it. Well, she did it because she has a right to do it, and she did it. And y'all just got mad because she did a better job than y'all showed it, and I said it. Now, she's so bold that she challenged Cleveland Clinic. Now, you got to be bold to challenge an entity like that. Well, she did. And she made sure, and we're all benefiting from her work because now Cleveland Clinic, when they send out our billing information, they have to make sure that they are extremely transparent when it comes to the money that we owe or they say we owe. Well, that is the work of Cassandra McDonald. So local history right here in our own region. And I'm going to give her some of this. Sure enough. And then, of course, everybody knows the general from what is that group? Black on Black Crime. Well, I don't know if she's still with them, but she used to. Her name is Donna Walker Brown. Now, everybody know Donna Walker Brown. Donna Walker Brown, she handles those cases almost like me, but she can do some stuff. And she challenges systems always. I remember back in the day, me, her, and Al Porter. We went to the county because all of these kids were being taken and these kids were getting killed when they were in custody with the Department of Children and Family Services. And it is because of us, and Donna was part of this, that they set up an advisory group to monitor the Department of Children and Family Services. And we didn't care how big or how powerful, Armin Budish thought he was in the Department of Children and Family Services. Because again, right is right, wrong is wrong. And sometimes you have to challenge the status quo to get things done. Brown on Cleveland. Fantastic women, Donna Walker Brown, yep, Brenda Hall, Mariah Crenshaw, and Cassandra McDonald. Now, let's go to some other people who've made history in our region. I love Black History Month because Black history is every day, and I don't care who don't like it because I got my Black History, t-shirt on today. I do. It says Kimberly Brown, Brown on Cleveland. That's Black history. All right. Key female history makers in Cuyahoga County. Everybody should be familiar with Stephanie Tubbs Jones. Y'all don't know her? Y'all should go back to sleep. Stephanie Tubbs Jones. She served as the first Black woman prosecutor in Cuyahoga County before becoming the first Black woman elected to Congress from Ohio, Stephanie Tubbs Jones. And if y'all got kids and grandkids, make sure y'all spread the right news and the right story and stop allowing other people to tell our stories, messing stuff up. Brown on Cleveland. Then we go to Jane Etna Hunter. How many of you guys knew that this was a Black woman? Interesting, right? a social worker and activist who founded the Phyllis Wheatley Association in Cleveland to support Black women and girls migrating from the South. Jane Edna Hunter. Then there was a Mary Martin Brown. Now, this is one I did not know, but I know it now. Brown became the first African American woman elected to the Cleveland School Board, a significant role in the early 20th century local politics. I had no idea. See, education matters. And what really gets me is that we have people who purposely will not teach us. So we can walk around here being all willy nilly, not knowing anything. But that's Mary Martin Brown. Now let's really bring it home. They got Chantel Brown on this list. Ooh, sure enough do. Now y'all know who Chantel Brown is. I call her Little Brown, but they got Chantel Brown on here. And some of you guys may be asking, well, why is the Congresswoman on this list for key Black female history makers in Cuyahoga County? Well, let me tell y'all something, you haters, or maybe not. Chantel Brown made history as the first female African American to lead the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party in 2019. And the good thing about it is that you can see her, you can talk to her, you can ask her questions because she's right here. She's not deceased. She's still here with us. And the sister made history. Let's go on. Dr. Zelma Watson George. I was just over at the rec center today because I had to go over there to pick up some literature and to disseminate some literature. Well, Dr. Zelma Watson George, a renowned opera singer. Okay, Kim, stop. Lecturer and humanitarian who served as a United States delegate to the United Nations. That's Dr. Zelma Watson George. And you got the Zelma George Center right there in Cleveland. I think that's Cleveland Ward 4, Ward 3. I don't know. You know, they change stuff. Anyway, right by the park, that's where it's located. Then guess who else is on this list? Everybody is familiar with this lady. Because if you're not, there's something seriously wrong with you. Let's go to the Huff area. Yeah. Let's go to that fiery lady who told Mike White to go to hell, told George Forbes to go to hell because they couldn't bully her. Let's talk about that Fannie Lewis. Yeah, she's on the key Black female history makers and Cuyahoga County list. Now they said Fannie Lewis, a long-serving Cleveland City Council member who was a powerhouse for community advocacy. And can't nobody deny that. I remember when I was a youngster and I was walking through the Huff neighborhood. This is a true story, can you not? And this is my first time meeting the Honorable Fannie Lewis. She knew that I did not live in that area. And I remember I was passing out information because I was working at a Berea's Children's Home during that time. And we had the Pro Kids and Families program. And I just had some flyers I was just, passing out. And I remember her telling me one day, she was like, hey, you, come here. And I was saying to myself, what she want? She says, come here. So, of course, being respectful. I said, yes, ma'am. She says, you don't live around here. I said, no, ma'am. She says, what's your name? Where you come from? And I told her, my name is Kimberly Brown and I work for Berea and I'm just passing out some information, regarding our program. And this is what she gonna say to me, y'all. Back then, we were just like so respectful as young people. I was in my 20s. And she said, well, the next time you decide to come through this area to pass out information, could you do me a favor? I said, ma'am. She says, could you please just go over there right to that office? And I was like, where? It was on Huff. And she says, just go in there and get permission and just tell them who you are. I was like, ma'am. She said, yeah, because I want to make sure that I know everybody who comes through my community, Brown on Cleveland. And the reason why I tell that story to people is because Fannie Lewis was different. She was different, man. That lady, if you knew her, I didn't really know her, but I knew of her. She was absolutely no nonsense. And she walked her community and she knew people. And when she was a council person, and can't nobody deny it, you ain't have all that willy-nilly stuff going on over there. You didn't have people, standing on a corner, begging for money, bothering folk. Because when they saw Miss Lewis, they knew they had to straighten up. Man, you talking about some powerful history? That's reverence, man. That's history. Everybody knew who this lady was. But if we go forward right now to 2026, half of us, they don't even know who these council people are, let alone these damn state reps. Ain't got a clue. Why? Because you don't have boots on the ground. This list here, these trailblazers, they have paved the way. And if you want to be on a list like this, you need to be able to challenge systems when systems are not effective for you. You don't need to be somewhere being willy-nilly, on the phone gossiping, ain't gonna bust your grape, or sitting here depending on a political party to save a day. It ain't gonna happen. These trailblazers built the foundation for Black women in leadership roles within the Cleveland and Cuyahoga County area. These women, they were pioneers in law, politics, and social service, and you can't get better than that. Brown on Cleveland. I know this podcast may or may not get too many views because I know that when you talk about education, people don't want to hear education. When you give them knowledge, they don't want to hear it. But it's just the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we got to be able to understand from whence we came to where we are, to where we hope to go. Because if not, it's not shame on them, it is shame on you. Brown on Cleveland. Black history moments right here in Cuyahoga County. Now, we have some other people who've made history, but I don't know if I want to talk about them. I just don't, because they need to be out here shaking their own darn pom-poms. Now, come this weekend, check me out on Newsbreak, because I will spotlight another 3 individuals and 2 organizations that have paved the way right here in Cuyahoga County. So, of course, you want to stay tuned to that. And the other thing is, can I shake my own pom-poms? Can I shake my own pom-poms? Listen, here is a recent history maker. Because I got to go. I don't have anything to do tomorrow because I'm going to stay at home. True to form. It's cold outside. I think I'm going to have a Monopoly party for some of my associates if they want to come by and play Monopoly, because I got a Monopoly game and I've been trying to play that game for the longest. So I may do something like that. Who knows? But that would be by invite only. But listen, let me tell you about this history here, because it needs to go down in the books. Oh, before I tell you about that history, I want you to do this. If you use chat, what is it? Chat PT, I think that's what it is. or if you Google your own name, or if you Google Black History Month, and if you Google people who you think made history and they have not, do you know that Google has the ability, and everybody knows this, to crawl, different websites, and they crawl your Facebook page, and they actually take information from there, and they'll talk about some great things in our region, not just our region, but across the country, about some things that have happened, some things that we are not, aware of, that we should be aware of. So use that tool and figure out really what's going on as far as Black history, because you will be amazed. Number one. But number two, let me tell you about this history right here, because I'm going to shake my own damn pom-poms, my own damn pom-poms. Listen, do you know, stop it, haters, do you know that Kimberly F. Brown, yours truly right here, I am the only campaign consultant, campaign manager in this region who has a record of 21-0, which simply means that I won 21 races and I lost 0. But more than that, I am the only campaign manager in this region who have been dragged to court on false charges that did not prevail, because the case was dismissed with prejudice. And the judge found out that this was all basically politically motivated. Now, you tell me what other campaign consultant have been dragged to court, been scandalized, been talked about, been dragged across social media, and still stand strong. Woo! Got to be one bad mofo for you. And that's only because during the last election, everybody knows I won 5 races on the same day during the same political climate. And ain't nobody got that record but Kimberly F. Brown, that damn Brown on Cleveland. And that is political history. All right, you guys, my time is up. It's all good. Don't forget, you guys, starting the 15th, we got candidates coming inside the Little Hut podcast. It's going to kick off every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. The candidates will be live inside the hut. They will not be on Restream Zoom, because I'm not playing that, because the rules are very simple. They are not allowed to bring any political material inside the hut. Nope, no cheating, and they don't get questions before they come. Who does that? So be ready to come with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And before they come, y'all know what I'm going to do. I am going to get my research analyst to do a complete background check. So if y'all got something in y'all background that's a little willy-nilly, I don't know if you want to come inside the Little Hut, because I believe that voters, constituents, business owners, and stakeholders, they have a right to know. Brown, that damn Brown on Cleveland. As always, know this: if you talk about me in private, I'm damn sure gonna talk about your ass in public. If you tell a lie on me, I'm darn sure I gotta tell the truth about you. And if you mind my business, Davita Russell, you know I'm going to mind yours too. Brown. Mm-hmm. Brown. Yeah. Brown. Mm-hmm. That darn Brown on.
Shake your pom-poms. Shake.
Have a good night.
She'll roll up on your hometown. good. But if you're doing wrong, you better watch yourself. If you're cruel and full of spite, she'll shut you down. One wrong step and it's to the ground. She don't play nice with clowns. Round, round, round on Cleveland, she'll lift you up or tear you down, depending on what you got going on. That darn down brown. She gets the folks in every way. Her light shines bright like midday. She hates the lies, she seeks the truth. She'll call you out and show the proof. She'll clean the streets, she'll get them right. She works all day, she works all night. She loves or hates based on your deeds. Don't cross her path, don't plant your weeds. Brown, brown, brown on Cleveland, she'll lift you up or tear you down, depending on what you got going on. That darn down brown. Brown, brown on Cleveland, she'll lift you up or tear you down, depending on what you got going on. That darn brown brown. Shake your pom-poms. Shake, shake, shake your pom-poms.